very good evening to the director, Dr. Ronan Nasir. Good evening to our HOD, Dr. Daniela, and all my fellow colleagues of the dais. It gives me great privilege to be in front of you to discuss or to share some awareness on this very important topic of breastfeeding. And the theme of this year of breastfeeding and working moms is the need of the hour. And when Dr. Daniela approached me, can you give us an awareness talk? I immediately accepted to come forward because I realized the need today to create awareness in young moms so that they are prepared mentally even before they have a child that what they are going to do. And being aware of your situation itself is a positive motivation for the future. So wherever you go, whenever you go, if you are aware of what you are expecting and then you go, then you will be able to assimilate more from your surroundings than if you go unprepared. So when I was approached to speak to this young crowd, I readily accepted and I am happy today to be with you all. I will be sharing my thoughts on this awareness as we go forward. Thank you very much. Let me start off by telling you that in breast milk, in local language, what we call as Amrita Bindu, you precious drops of human secretion called breast milk. Now, at the outset, we should know that breast milk is something which the body secretes only after the child is born. And the reason for this secretion is just for the child. Now, we require to know what are the stimulations which prepares the mother to produce this milk. So, first comes, as the mother approaches her delivery, the breast starts enlarging. There are glands which are meant for secreting milk start becoming mature. The first stimulus for the mother to start secreting milk is the child suckling. Now, unlike any other species, production of milk in humans is a neurohormonal response. Very important to know, neurohormonal. There is nerve and there is a hormone. So what are these nerves? These nerves are nothing but the nerve endings which are present on the areola, which is nothing but the dark part around the nipple, which carries these signals. And where do the signals go? The signals go to the mother's brain and the posterior pituitary part of the brain, which secretes these hormones. Now, what are these hormones? There are two hormones. One by the name of prolactin, as the name says, prolactation hormone. And the second hormone is called as oxytocin. Now, both these hormones have very beautiful actions in the mother's body. The first hormone called prolactin stimulates the mother to produce milk. And the second hormone called oxytocin helps to eject the milk out of the mother's breast. Now, when I say eject, you might be thinking, what, milk pours out? Exactly, yes. When the baby suckles on one breast, if the mothers are here, or if you ask your cousins or your aunts or your neighbors, you would see that the mother is saying when the baby suckles on one breast, there are drops of milk coming out of the other breast. Now, what is this action which produces the milk to come out from the other breast? It is the action of oxytocin. Okay, so it is now the reason why I am telling you this is, it is the importance of starting breastfeeding immediately after birth. Now the WHO, what does it recommend? When should you start breastfeeding? They say within 15 minutes in case of a normal delivery and within a half an hour if it is a cesarean delivery. Going back to the times, people realize the importance of these neurohormonal responses. And if you see in before years, they used to ask the mother, because ours is an agrarian history, so most of the parents or most of the mothers would be working in the field. So what they knew that the mother had to touch the baby for the mother to secrete milk. So what they used to do, as soon as the mother delivers, they used to tell the mother to be with the child all the time. Now, these moms who used to work in the fields and hard working, their hands would be rough, unlike our hands today, which we do not touch the soil also. So, in order that these mothers can stimulate their children, the baby, and indirectly get stimulated, they used to give oil. And what is the most commonest oil they used to have? Coconut oil. They used to take the soil and massage the baby. Now the idea here was what? For the mother to produce milk. But going forward, people have lost the reason behind that, and I have questions about what oil to be used. What is the type of massage? And there are massives who come just to massage the baby. And this has become a big industry by itself. Baby massage, massage, baby oils. Do you understand from where it is actually coming? So what I am trying to tell you, understanding these basics about why it was done and what it was done will help us in promoting the new moms. It is not about the massage, it is just about the playing with your baby. So it is not about the oil. Do you require oil today to play with your baby? You don't require oil. You can play with your plain hands. Okay. So people don't even touch the baby. I feel today, with the presence of these dyes or these specialists, so-called specialists who come after the delivery of the child at home, they literally treat moms like cows. You know what? Have you seen what they do? They take the baby from the mother, they tie it and they hold it. When it's time to feed, they tie the baby and give it to the mother. Feed. The baby is tied, given to the mother to feed. And then after feeding, again they will take it. This is what is happening in cow sheds, cattle, in the dairy farms. You understand? So these things, these practices, I feel by creating awareness today, I'm very sure that you all will carry this message in your neighborhood, in your families, that please do not do these things. Second thing, so I told you about awareness about how milk is secreted, what is the importance, timing of starting early, and I told you about how it is secreted. Now, what is the type of milk? Why do we say immediately at a birth you should give? The different types of milk. The milk matures according to the age of the baby. It is something wonderful, beautiful, and cannot be replicated on earth. If it's a premature baby, the mother's milk is found to be a higher amount of protein. When the baby is born, for normal babies, the first few days, the mothers secrete very small quantity of highly energetic precious milk called colostrum. Now, what is the action of this colostrum? Colostrum has got multiple activities. The first thing is lining the nascent gut of the child so that to prevent any bugs from sitting into the intestine and growing there. Number one, antimicrobial activity. Second, it provides the nutrition required for the baby in the first few days. Now you might be asking, how can such little milk be enough in the first few days? The baby's tummy on the first day is considered to be the size of a marble. And how much milk do you want to fill a marble? Will you create marbles? Yes? Size of a marble. How much milk do you want to place in there? The concept after childbirth, we first put the baby immediately to the breast of the mother. One is for the mother to get stimulated. Second, for the baby to get this highly precious milk called colostrum. As the baby matures and grows, this mother starts secreting more milk depending on how much the baby drinks. So, in other terms, the amount of milk the mother secretes increases every day till 6 months. Till 6 months, the milk production keeps increasing. Breast, the signal goes from the mother's breast to the brain that I have to produce more, and automatically there is more secretion of prolactin, there is more secretion of oxytocin. This is how the body itself helps to produce more. Now, what I want to highlight in this point, what you should remember is emptying the breast. The beauty of the production of milk in the breast is such that the front part, so called as the foremilk, is more of water, and the back part, which is called as hindmilk, is more in fat. Now, why is this like that? As we all know, when it comes to our lunchtime, when we are hungry, we want to drink water first. Yes or no? We want to quench our thirst and then we want food. The beauty is that God has created it like that in the breast. The front is water and the back is food, thick milk. As I know, all of you are having your mobiles with you all. Please open it on Google. Please type foremilk. REMILK. Foremilk, and see the images. Foremilk versus hindmilk. Just press foremilk and put image. Yes, I think I have got it now. Images, yes? Everybody has got it? How many of you didn't get it? You didn't get it? Now, this exercise is with a reason. I could have put it up for you, but there is a reason why I am telling you to do this. All, how many of you didn't get it yet? Yes, now please take a screenshot of this. The baby gets water, predominantly water, and after 15 minutes is when the hind milk starts coming out of the breast. So it is very, very important that when a mother feeds a child, she at least feeds for 20 minutes on one breast. I hope I am sending this message to you. On one breast for at least 20 minutes, so that the bride not only gets water, it also gets food. And by emptying the hind milk, the stimulation goes to the mother to produce more milk. Furthermore, you might wonder, what about when we shift to the other breast? See, this mechanism is so wonderful that in order to remove out the water from the other breast, when the baby is feeding on one breast, the other breast pushes out the water. So what goes out is the water. For a doctor like me, when I want to know whether the let down, when I say let down means the hormone has been released for the milk to jet out, I ask the mother whether when you are feeding on one breast, do you have few drops coming out of the other breast? And what she says, yes. So what does it tell me? It tells me that she is having a very, very good let down. There is no less of hormone production for her. The only problem here is that she might not be emptying her breast completely. You understand? So this is the thing. I tell them that you have to empty your breast, go for 20 minutes. Most of the moms tell me they're afraid they're losing precious milk. That is why as soon as it starts coming out, they will shift the baby to the other breast. So you have to tell them that that milk is secreted with a reason, because that is water, and when you are going to shift, the baby wants food. It's already got water. So this is the technique of breastfeeding. Okay, timing, how to time it. Fore milk, hind milk, and colostrum. Different types of milk. The next important point is about latching. Latching means is the process of attaching the baby to the breast. Now, most of the time, I always advise new moms to look at your nipples and prepare yourself for breastfeeding. When the baby delivers, those who have flat nipples or retracted nipples have a very difficult time in feeding. So if you have such problems and or if you know of somebody having, please guide them earlier so that they can get treatment so that the nipples come out, so that they can start breastfeeding immediately. Now, coming to the technique of latching, is that the baby should come to a level of consciousness where the baby is ready to feed. When I say level of consciousness, as soon as the baby opens its eyes, if you put, the baby suckles and the baby feels that the nipple is a pacifier, and within a few seconds the baby falls to sleep. And the mother invariably first few days tells me, doctor, as soon as I put, baby sleeps. Now what is the reason for that? Because the baby has not come to the level of consciousness where it can latch on well, where it can feed well. Now how do we help, or how do we solve this problem? We tell the mother, you have to play with your baby till your baby opens the eyes before feeding. Now, how does that play help? Play helps in two ways. One, for the mother to be stimulated. I told you the neurohormonal response starts. Second, the baby comes to the level of consciousness where the baby will suckle well. So this process is most of the time not, passed on to the mothers, and the mothers are not aware of these things to be done before she starts feeding. So once the mother does this process, and then the mother puts the baby on, plays with the baby, once the baby opens the eyes, that time the baby comes to a level of consciousness, will be looking around, and as soon as you touch the nipple to the side of the mouth of the baby, automatically this is called as rooting reflex. The reflex starts. So as soon as you touch the baby's nipple to the mouth, the baby turns whichever side you touch. You touch on the left side, baby turns left. You touch the right hand, baby turns right. Touch up, baby. Now what I tell them is that you have to not go directly into the mouth. You have to touch the nipple to the lip, and the baby opens the mouth. And that time you have to slip it so that the full areola is inside, not the tip of the nipple. The tip of the nipple is like straws. Baby starts biting on the straw with no milk coming. The milk sacs are collected in the areola. So once that is fully into the baby's mouth, when the baby opens wide, goes inside, little pressure, baby starts getting flow. So this is the importance of proper latching. Okay, so we have finished on this process of latching. Now coming to the duration of feeding. Only first 10 days is when the mother and the child require to bond frequently in order to attach or to start this breastfeeding. After 10 days, breastfeeding becomes automatic in terms of when the baby is hungry, baby will try and feed. The mother need not wake the baby to feed. So after 10 days, we strictly advise the mother about demand feeding. Again, the word here is demand feeding. Who demands? Who demands? Baby demands, not the mother. I've seen over enthusiastic mothers who still go on waking up the baby every 2 hours and feeding, and then these babies go on to have problems of reflux, milk coming up, baby vomiting, regurgitating milk, baby aspirating milk. All this is over enthusiastic mothers trying to do. So after day 10, never wake the baby. Baby will wake you. I tell the mothers, only first 10 days you wake the baby, and after 10 days, baby will wake you. Okay, so this is about demand feeding. Then, this feeding process should continue up to minimum 6 months. As I told you, why? The milk will keep on increasing. And what is the advantages of this milk to the baby? It has nutritional advantages, gives the required nutrition which is easily digestible and easily assimilated into the body. Second, it has an immune function. Immune function is to prevent any type of diseases. And it is seen that these babies who are breastfed have very little problems in terms of allergies, gut infections, and respiratory infections. Very less. The next important point is that this mother's milk contains substances which are very important for the brain growth of the baby. Though many companies even today are trying to match up to the mother's milk, they are never been able to reach there. We say DHA, so-called brain stimulation hormone, and whatnot. Everything we are trying, oligosaccharides. I don't want to bring all those things, but I'm trying to say they cannot match breast milk. So what I want to say is that as the mother's milk is not only nutritious, it is also a protective for the baby. It is very important that the mother continues breastfeeding. Now, coming to the topic theme of today of breastfeeding and working moms. All of you will want to continue your careers, and I want you to know that even though you want to continue your career, breastfeeding will never come in the path of your career. Why? Because those who want to breastfeed can express your milk, pump your milk, and store it. Now there are various procedures of storing your breast milk. The normal breast milk, what we say, you can keep it at room air for up to 4 hours. So we advise working moms to take a 100 ml milk collecting bottle or a clean stiffin. Express your milk after you have given the milk to your child. Collect how much is there. Keep it in 100 ml. Don't pump everything together. Keep it in 100 ml stiffin or in milk collecting bottles. Now, if you are going to keep it out within the next 4 hours, you can keep it at room temperature. If you are going to store it for the next 24 hours, you have to keep it in the refrigerator, fridge down 2 to 4 days. If you are going to keep it more than 24 hours, then you have to freeze it. So this is the time duration of which breast milk can be kept out. And once you keep it in the fridge, how do you give it to the child? So you have to tell them to take a vessel, boil water, and once it boils, then keep the stiffin in that boiled water so that it thaws. You should not boil breast milk. Once it thaws, give it to the child in a spoon. Yes? So this is the way we advise working moms to continue breastfeeding so that the child can have the early benefit of the mother's antibodies which come from the mothers to protect the child against all these infections. I have now told you about the basic requirements. Coming to one of the most important points for the mother to produce good milk. It is the nutrition of the mother. Most of the times I see today that moms are more worried as soon as they deliver to come back to shape, and they start all types of different diets. And whenever you go into such different diets which is not balanced, you tend to compromise on your milk. And who's going to be affected by this? The first person who's going to be affected is you yourself and then your baby. So please, for heaven's sake, as soon as the child is born, don't go into diets. Have a healthy home-based food. What I advise my moms is that you should have plenty of fluids because 80% of your milk is water. So before feeding, every mother is advised to drink minimum 2 glasses of fluid. Second, what the mother should not be taking. I advise them not to take spicy food. In this area, very notorious is the kashayas. Kala jirige kashaya. Yes? I think you have heard. Kala jirige kashaya. Kala jirige is pepper and jeera kashaya. The idea here is that they want to make the mother hot. I don't know for what. And they think by heating the mother, all the microbes and everything die. This concept of heating and I don't understand from where it came, but I understand that once you eat this pepper, you start eating from your nose. I think because of that. But whatever it is, please do not take spicy food. One, allergy and some bitter decoctions they do. What happens is that these decoctions will burn the mother's tummy. Second, these spices, as it comes, have you eaten garlic and then smelled your sweat? If you eat garlic and smell your sweat, you will have that garlicky odor. You eat garlic and you talk to somebody will say you eat garlic. Because these spices do come in your secretions. And when it goes into the baby's tummy, it will corrode the nascent tummy. And then the baby goes on to have colic pain, crying continuously. And they come, doctor, baby is crying. Then you tell what? Allergy again? What? Garlic leha? They start looking at the mother. Mother will look at the so-called expert specialist Dani. And then I am next my dialogue. Now start dancing. Baby singing. Understand? Because every mom goes with this knowledge not to do these things. But because of the home pressure, so-called these experts there at home who tell that nobody knows anything other than them. The mothers are forced to do these things and then they end up, spoiling the baby's gut. And then all throughout for 3 to 4 months, babies tend to have this very bad type of colic. And we have no solution but to wait for the body to replace the lining and for the baby to come down. So, the idea today for me to come here is to create awareness in all of you so that you will carry this message to your neighborhood, for yourself, for your neighbors, and for the betterment of our society. Thank you very much for listening very patiently to me, and I would be very happy if there are any doubts which I can share or I can clear it for you. Thank you once again.